Welcome to the Not Just Any Book Club red carpet at the 98th Academy Awards, where we're going to run down at least the Best Picture nominees and tell you what our favorites are. Give you a little bit of a ranking, and just talk about our thoughts for the year. We're a book club first,
Asterisk.
technically. It's in the name. But we both also love movies. So we've watched quite a few of the nominated films this year and are excited to talk about it.
My name is Justin.
My name is Pierce.
And Pierce and I share some hot takes. I mean, you can't go into a year without any hot takes. We got some very basic takes.
Yeah.
So how do you want to do this, Pierce? Do we really want to come out the gate swinging with our?
Yeah. Let's just this is a you hot take. Yeah, let's just go in order. Okay. The alphabetical order based on the Academy's website. So alphabetical order, we would start with Bugonia, which I really liked. Emma Stone, one of my favorite actresses. Yorgos Lanthimos, I would struggle to call him one of my favorite directors, but I enjoy his movies. I don't think there's been a Yorgos movie that I've seen that I've disliked, so there's that. And I thought that this was pretty good. I think that Bugonia, a movie about conspiracy theories and these two guys kidnap the CEO thinking that she's an alien. I think that it is a movie that is really has two really strong lead performances, and that's probably the best part of the movie. But I think it's just an enjoyable time overall from start to finish. It's a little silly here and there. It's a little thought provoking, especially given that this year was also the year that a massive conspiracy was proven to be somewhat true. We won't get into that completely, but that happened. To millennial humor my way out of this.
Okay.
But yeah, Bugonia. I thought that it was a good time.
Well, I really So, Yorgos Lanthimos has not made a movie that I have not liked up until now. Bugonia was not a big fan. I understand that is a very hot take because, this film getting that Best Picture nom, getting a very resounding reception among some of my friends, and everyone who's seen it has really enjoyed it. It didn't vibe with me. I don't know. I didn't really think the story was all too special. I really didn't like the tone or the vibe the film was going for, but that's just me. I think this is his first miss for me personally.
Are we doing spoiler talk? Are we doing spoiler talk?
Yeah, honestly,
we should announce that. We should announce that right now. Spoiler talk. Just say from this point on, if you're don't be mad if we spoil one of these movies.
For the Best Picture nominees, at least.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you do take it away, Pierce.
Yeah, door. What I was gonna say is that I recognize, and we've had this conversation already. I recognize the places where you don't like the film, and I'll let you talk about those. And honestly, like leaving the theater, I was not that happy with the twist at the end. I think I ended up giving it like 4 stars, but I was originally like, I was really enjoying it, and I was leaning. I don't think I was gonna quite give it a 4.5, but I was leaning that way. And leaving the theater, I was leaning at like 3.5. Like I was really bringing down. But then I thought about it more and more, and just the twist is basically that the guy who kidnapped the CEO is right, and she is an alien, actually.
Very but all the way through.
As I've thought about it more and more, I think it drives home a different point than I guess I was sort of expecting watching the whole movie. And the point is that it doesn't really matter if
Mm.
conspiracy theorists are right about everything. It can just, maybe they are right about a lot of things, but at the end of the day, like, you know, we have these people who have all this power over us. Um, and whether she's a CEO who has a ton of power or she's an alien who can flip a switch and kill everyone on Earth, um, or CEO who can slowly kill everyone on Earth through like global warming, et cetera, et cetera. It doesn't really matter what the truth is exactly if we just let these people continue to have power.
Okay. Well, I mean, agree to disagree, I guess. I just didn't like it mostly because it had just I didn't really find it funny. Even though it was labeled as a dark comedy all the way through. And I really didn't like the twist at the end either. I mean, I kind of guessed it halfway through. I knew when she started talking about the aliens at the end, like the third act, when she started railing against him. That's when I kind of knew, all right, they're just going with it. Doesn't matter if she tries to change her tone at the end, she's an alien. And I found that a little bit abrupt. Um, I just didn't really think that twist was very well founded or anything. And I don't know if that was really the point of the movie. I know that the point was the fact that it doesn't matter if the conspiracy theorist was right. I don't think the movie is endorsing the conspiracy theorist either. Because I think it's meant to mock them at the end with it being all right. Because it was like basically just like these very absurd concepts about the hair finding being a tracking device. I think that was just meant to mock how absurd these conspiracies really are.
Yeah.
It just didn't gel with me.
I
Uh,
don't I don't know if it was that abrupt because she changes her tune probably the beginning of the second act, like halfway ish through the movie, maybe even a little earlier than that. It definitely feels like she's lying to him, but like I feel like that's the point. She starts pretending to be an alien, and when I saw that, I thought that the point is she is um saying like CEOs who like in the beginning of the movie she's a CEO and she's like, oh, we have a good like work life balance, girl boss,
mhm,
liberal CEO type stuff, and the point is that the people like this at the top are like chameleons, and they'll say whatever it is to whatever wins them the most. Rainbow
mhm.
capitalism, the conservative swing since Trump has been in office from a lot of these companies. Like they don't care. They'll just
Mhm.
say whatever. And so I thought that we were leaning super heavily into that critique. And we do, but she starts kind of, at least it feels like, lying, but she starts saying that he's right and she's an alien pretty early.
Yeah, I don't want to make this the Bugonia
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
episode,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but
We can
yeah,
move
I
on.
just
We can move on.
yeah, it still didn't vibe with me. Oh,
Um, the next one alphabetically is F1, which is the only one that you haven't seen. So I guess I'll talk about this. Um, it
how long?
is it is a an entertaining dad movie.
Mm,
And cars go fast. Brad Pitt plays like kind of the encapsulation of like Gen X, like quippy, but I don't
Oh,
really care type guy.
hmm,
Um, like somebody that Gen X and Boomers I think would be like, yeah, that's what a cool guy, what a
yeah,
cool man. Um, and he had an accident when he was younger, so he didn't race in the big races anymore, and then he gets called back up by his friend.
sounds really cliched.
Um, yeah, and then he has to work with the young buck who's hot-headed, and they end up working together and getting along, and you know he outsmarts everybody in the races. Like he basically
Hmm.
he basically like throws the races and like accidentally, quote unquote, accidentally, um, makes it so that everybody has to slow down to give his partner a chance to like catch up and win, which is not what you're supposed to do in these races. Um, like he puts debris on the field and stuff like that.
Okay.
Um, but it's I don't know. I actually didn't hate it. It's a little long, so I don't know if I would watch it again. But it's it's a decent movie. I sat down. I was like, I'm having a good time. I'm laughing at this guy who, there's a Gen Xer who's like he's just like me for real out there somewhere, and
Okay.
it's and that's a little cringe to think about. But you know what? Like he's kind of funny in the moment, so it is what it is. And yeah, pretty good. It's not. It's I'm gonna have it towards the bottom of my list when we do that, but
Hmm.
just because I don't think it's anything special, it's very cliche, but not a bad movie. Like
Yeah.
if you were just looking to put something on, you could put this on and you'd have a good time. I think.
I will say that last year, the movie that I really didn't expect to like was A Complete Unknown because I'm like, all right, it's one of those musical biopics. This is this year's A Complete Unknown, I guess, because I'm like, all right. But little did I know that A Complete Unknown was my favorite movie of last year, unironically, aside from Honora, because I'm a big Bob Dylan fan. I'm a simple man. If I see something I like, it was almost a 5-star film for me. So, if I was
Yeah.
a big F1 fan, I think that would be that kind of movie for me.
I mean, I think the unfortunate thing is just that there are many better movies that were
Yeah.
released this year. Multiple foreign films that were released this year that were better than this. One that didn't even get nominated, which we're going to talk about, at least
Hmm.
mention, because that's a massive snub. I the movie that I have not named yet, but will later, I think could have been nominated for Best Picture. It's
And you
that
kind of know
good.
what we're talking about
Yeah,
already.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So we can move on because you don't have much to say about it, I'm sure. But
Race cars go room.
yeah, but it's decent. It's decent. Like
Okay.
I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad.
Okay.
And also, if we're gonna have a token, if we can have a token like
Blockbuster.
blockbuster movie at the Oscars every year. There's 10 slots. Throw
Okay.
them a bone. Get Apple and Netflix to continue paying for these huge movies. Um,
I'll take that. It's
yeah,
a sacrifice, really.
right, right. Um, Up next alphabetically, we have Frankenstein, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. What do you think about this
Yeah.
one? I'll let you lead.
I really like the first half of the film. The second half, not so much, but I will say that production design was really popping, was
This
really good.
The second half had me straight snoring. It was so boring. I watched this in the theater on the big screen, and
Wow.
I'm usually locked in for like movie theater movies,
Mhm.
and I'll tell you what, the Jacob Elordi half was like, I was I was like, this is I'm dead. It's so boring. It's I can't,
Yeah. I-
I loved the
yeah.
first half. I thought the first half
Yeah.
was really
Yeah.
good. I was so excited, but
Yeah.
man,
And that second half, I was fighting to keep on saying that this movie was going to be really good because I had that first half of that movie in my mind. I'm like, all right, this can't drop the ball this hard. It can't. It
I had
can't,
the
and it did.
exact same experience. It's crazy. It's
You
crazy.
know. Hey, Pierce
What
and I can have share a hot take once in a
we
while.
can, we can. So what I'll say about this is that I feel like Guillermo del Toro does this kind of monster all the time. He's got a ton of like misunderstood monsters like
Mhm.
that. And so when he finally does Frankenstein, which is like the source of the type of creature that Guillermo del Toro likes to do, when we finally get to it, it's like he drops the ball. I don't know. He changes the story in a way that
It changes the genre in a way, I would even
yeah,
say.
Frankenstein is less complicated. He's just like a good guy who's very strong and violent. Um, you know, like, and I mean, I like obviously he does things that are bad, like he kills innocent people chasing after his
Yeah.
creator or
The
whatever.
gore was
But
cool.
yeah, the gore was cool. But I just mean like his motivations was it was just like I want to be loved. I'm a human being. He's just there's no like I don't know.
Yeah, you're articulating it better than I could because I was just like, wow, I'm so bored. Please be good. I mean, I really like. I mean, I tried to like that entire sequence when he was at that cabin. I was like, oh, that's neat, but it goes on for way too long. It just has a lot of pacing issues. If that second half was not what I feel like most of the movie, it was a really long movie. I
Mhm.
would have probably liked it a little bit better. Or maybe if you made the first half really slow and the second half really exciting, that would have been really neat. I know I'm not
Yeah.
the director here, but like, you can't start off really fast and then slow down towards the end and crawl to a finish.
Maybe it's just Oscar Isaac, you know? Maybe he's just
Yeah.
that guy, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe no, I think that there was much more even the like, you know, you mentioned the production design, like everything I felt like was it felt more inspired in the first half.
Yeah. I was ready to
Um
give the 5 out of 5 stars. I was ready
y-
to hit that button and then
yeah. There was the dream sequence with like the angel monster. That was awesome. That looked so
yeah.
incredible. Uh yeah, it's just kind of disappointing how hard the ball gets dropped in that second half.
Mm, all right. Shall we talk about the next film?
Okay. Next alphabetically is Hamnet.
Yeah.
Hamnet is one of my favorite movies of the year. I think Hamnet is like I think that pacing wise, I felt like it was pretty much perfect for me. I had
Mhm.
like you know, usually in the theater, I'll find a quiet moment to go to the bathroom, right?
Wow.
Like I
Okay.
like there's in a lot of movies like I just you know, I want to make sure that I don't have to go during like the climax of the film or whatever is kind of
Mhm.
the main thing. I want to make sure that I'm not like dying in my seat in the last 15
Mhm.
minutes. And so but this movie it was so well paced and I felt like everything was important and I was just like glued to my seat the entire time.
Did you take a piss in your seat? That's what
I
you
did
tell you.
not. I did not. I did not do that. But yeah, I just thought that Hamnet was pretty incredible. I've seen people online the hate brigade has started to come out for this
Yeah.
movie
Calling this
because
Oscar
people
bait?
yeah, because people no calling it like emotionally manipulative, which I think is a crazy take because all art is kind of emotionally manipulative in
Yeah.
a way. Um and it's not like it's unearned either, I don't think. Like if they just like killed people willy-nilly, maybe that would be emotionally manipulative,
Yeah.
but no, they didn't do that.
Yeah. Um, and hey, this was the first time I'm willing to admit it. I sobbed in the theater. I had to get a napkin, and I was devastated. All right, Jessie Buckley, her face, just like she was emoting so well.
Yeah.
When that scene when Hamnet dies, oh boy, I was not okay.
Yep.
It was wonderful.
Yep.
Um,
There were at least 2 times when I was crying in the theater. It was crazy.
I was convulsing.
Crazy.
My face was convulsing. It was the hardest I've cried in at least like 4 to 5 years at a
Yeah.
movie. So, props to this movie. I mean, it's not going to escape the Oscar bait allegations, but just because it has all the characteristics of it being Oscar bait, derogatory slash non-derogatory, doesn't mean it's bad. All right,
Yep.
Titanic, Oscar bait, but you know what? I love Titanic. It's a great film.
Yep.
So, come at me.
Things can be Oscar baity and also excellent. So I don't know. Do you have anything
Yeah.
else to say about this?
Yeah. Oh, and So the director of this film, Chloe Zhao,
Hmm.
she is not a big Shakespeare fan at all. So this movie is very accessible to anybody that is not a Shakespeare fan. I was trying to nitpick Shakespeare's life. I was like, all right, that detail's not right because I do know a little bit about the play. Um, I mean, okay, I know a lot about the play and how it was produced because they would not have an amateur actor reciting that line. It would have been I forgot the actor's name. Whatever, whatever. It it's very loosely inspired, and it doesn't do the member berry stuff where it's like, hey, remember this, and try to tie it back in with her life. No, it's all about her, and it's
Yeah.
wonderful.
And there's only one time where it really is like, oh, it's Shakespeare,
Yeah,
guys. Look, it's Shakespeare. It's Shakespeare. And it's when he's coming up with the idea for Hamlet. So I think like
yeah,
which is kind of the whole point of the movie. So
mhm,
I think that it still fits. It's not just like thrown in to be like, you guys know Shakespeare? You guys remember this
yeah,
line that he wrote one time?
yeah,
Um, so yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
It's
I
like
also
Bohemian
think
Rhapsody.
I also think, you know, we really should have talked about Jesse Plemons, but we can come back to him when we get to best actor.
Yeah,
If we can talk so we can talk about his snub. But um but Paul Mescal also pretty good. Pretty good. I mean, I'm a big Paul Mescal fan. I know people see a lot of him and they're kind of tired of him, but me as an After Sun fanboy, I'm like, yeah, Paul Mescal pretty good in this
yeah.
movie.
He,
Not as good as
yeah,
Jesse Buckley. Jesse Buckley kind of steals the show, but
yeah. And he was written that way. All right, Paul Mescal was meant to be quiet this time, so
mhm, mhm.
yeah,
Well,
the purpose is good.
and I had to look up his name just now. Jacoby Jupe
Oh
or
yeah, the
Jupe
kid.
or the kid. He's awesome in
Okay,
this
yeah.
movie.
Yeah,
Good for
one of my
him.
minor critiques of the film was like, there's no way that a kid would be saying all these words at this age. But no, he sells it. Like, wow. If it was
Yeah.
any other kid, it would have been like, all right, yeah, the dialogue's too verbose for this little child. You know, you gotta dumb it, you gotta stupefy it. But no, he does it. He does it.
Yeah. And I think it also works as like a this is Shakespeare's son, right? Like
Hmm.
this is you know while he's away working in the city, this small emotional child like maybe reminds his mom of her you know her husband and he's gonna grow up and also work in theater and all that. So like I think it works for a
Hmm.
multitude of reasons.
All right. That's all I have to say about Hamnet. Passing the torch off to you.
Okay, up next, the Film Bro movie of the year, Marty Supreme with Timmy Tim, and others. That one guy from
Huge
Shark
cat.
Tank.
Yeah.
um, uh, awesome movie. Very fun,
Yeah.
very cool. I'm glad that this one blew up on social media and people were going out to the cinema to see it. Because it's a great movie. And I expect it to be much more ping pong related than it was, but
Yeah.
it's much more stressful, you know, week in the
Crime movie.
life
Yeah.
of stressful crime movie week in the life of Marty Mauser,
Hmm.
or longer technically from beginning to end, but yeah.
Yeah. He practiced table tennis for 7 years. So that's that fun fact. Yeah, it's very rare, and I don't think this movie has done this in a long time, but it's very rare for me to watch a movie and come out of the theaters and it instantly going to my favorites of all time list. Yes, all time. Fire movie. I loved Timmy. I hated Timmy. I wanted Timmy to win. I wanted Timmy to lose sometimes because of his arrogant attitude. I just loved every character. I could not predict the plot, and I don't know. I This movie has its heart in the right place. At the same time, it's very stressful. I loved every second of this movie. It was amazing. And I also loved how the production design as well. It really did look like the 50s. In that weird choice of making the soundtrack an entire like 80s thing while setting in the 50s. It shouldn't work, but it does. A lot of this thing in this film shouldn't work, but it does. Having all these subplots come together and somehow pay off in the way they do, it really works. It's
Yeah.
like putting everything into a burrito and somehow it doesn't fall into the ground. Nothing. It's just
E-
it's flawless.
even like you mentioned loving all the characters, and I think that's true. Marty Mauser is awesome. Kay Stone, Gwyneth Paltrow's character is awesome. Rachel
Mhm.
is awesome, and as much as it's to many people's chagrin, in this case, you do kind of have to hand it to Kevin O'Leary. He did a
Yeah.
bang up job as like this not very likable. I mean, he played himself, right? Like he
Yeah,
played
yeah, yeah.
himself, and but he's great at that. He's awesome. He's really good in this movie. Even Tyler the Creator is really good. He's in this movie too.
Yeah.
Like just all around an awesome job from everybody. And people will compare this to Uncut Gems. That movie is awesome too. So whatever.
All right. Well, yeah. I love this movie. I will own it one day. I will show people it because it's awesome.
Yeah.
And speaking about awesome movies, we got another awesome movie coming right up. One
Another
battle after
awesome
another.
movie. Yeah. OBAA.
Yeah.
This is the front runner for many awards this
Hmm.
season. Um, I think it'll. People are still hoping for a come from behind
Sinners.
victory for Sinner. I was gonna wait to say the name of the movie, but
Okay.
yeah, people are still hoping for a come from behind victory for Sinners in a lot of areas. I don't think that's going to happen. I think this is one battle after another's year.
Hmm.
And I say that as somebody who, one battle after another. It's definitely one of my favorite movies of the year, but
Hmm.
I don't have it at the very top.
Hmm.
Um, and so it's got the momentum. Paul Thomas Anderson deserves it, and it like when you say, "Oh, this person deserves an Oscar," and they're just getting the award because they deserve to have one at some
Legacy.
point in their career, that's one thing. But Paul Thomas Anderson in this case deserves to win awards, and and this movie is good enough to actually deserve those
Yeah.
awards. So that's kind of the two-headed thing you have here that's given this movie all the momentum in the world.
Hmm. Yeah. Um, I wasn't as high on this movie as other people.
Mhm.
Granted, I only did see it once. My parents did love it though. My parents were over the moon about this movie. So props to that film. I kind of view this as PTA's The Departed, where if he wins it, it's not his best film, but it
Don't
is a very good
hey,
film.
do not compare the I don't actually okay, maybe this is a hot take, but I don't like The Departed that much. Do not say that
Okay.
about this
Yeah.
movie.
Okay.
You
Wow.
you've
Yeah. I mean,
compared a movie I like a lot to a movie I'm lukewarm on. That's
wow.
I know that's a hot take, but
Well. Yeah. Okay. I didn't know that.
sorry. Yeah, we're
Yeah. Yeah.
sidetracking. We're
We were
sidetracking. But
sidetracking, but Oba, one battle after another.
yep.
Let's go actually talk about the movie because we're talking about the context surrounding the movie.
Yeah.
Um, I really did like it. There are some aspects I really didn't love about it, like the guy Colonel Lockjaw coming back to life at the end. I know I understand that was a joke. I understand it was a joke, but I'm like at the same time, I'm like, dude, all right, this movie's going on a little bit too long. You didn't have to do that. But the movie's very funny and there's a lot of heart to it. I really like the fact that a lot of the movie is just Leo like messing around trying to find unlock a password, find his phone charger, and really not have that much of an impact on the film, even though he's put on top as like the lead role. Um, I really liked everything about how the he's kind of like a surrogate just to at least get the community to introduce us to the community that is going to help him on this, which is really neat. Also, that first 30 to 40 minutes were actually probably my favorite part of the film, where it was that entire montage of him with Tiana Taylor. I thought that was really neat just to do it very sparse dialogue and do it entirely for their montage.
And for such a long movie, the pacing is frenetic. You have
Yeah.
this 30 to 40-minute montage at the beginning where so much is happening so quickly, and then you have like a very short amount of calm. And then it kicks off again, and it basically never stops from that point on. And like it's just constantly like the music is stressful, what's going on screen is anxiety inducing for a lot of the time. Yeah, the pacing is just off the wall crazy the whole time, which I think is
Hmm.
awesome.
Yeah, and some moments it's stressful, some moments it's very exciting. That chase sequence at the end, divine. It was awesome. Oh, especially when Chase Infinity was trying to escape, and she's like still handcuffed. That was tense. That was tense. That was some
Yep.
good stuff right there.
Yep. 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 Yep.
Yeah. Also, the score is
Um,
pretty good.
the score's good. It's probably Sinners will probably win that, but listen, I'm gonna be honest. I think one battle after another, I might prefer it.
Okay.
But Sinners, I won't be upset. That's
Yeah.
also I think they're both like between those two and Marty Supreme. I think we have three all time great scores this year.
Mm,
Like they're all so good.
they are.
Unfortunately, Marty Supreme did not get a nomination because the Academy hates electronic music, but nonetheless.
Hmm.
um, well, I say that because Challengers also didn't get a score nomination
Trent
last year,
Reznor.
right? Which
No.
was another electronic score that people were like, "This is awesome," and it didn't even get a nomination. Anyhow, um, I also just think like we haven't talked about the message for all of these movies. I like the thing is, I feel like so many of them I resonated with. Like so many of them were either timely. I know you didn't resonate with Bugonia, but timely.
Hmm.
Or they like I just resonated with them really deeply.
Hmm.
And for one battle after another in particular, I think it's both timely and I resonate with it. This idea that you just keep pushing on, even generationally, right? Like the older generation will eventually have to pass on the torch to the younger generation, and people continue to
Fight.
fight and push for rights and to keep society moving forward.
Hmm.
I think it's an awesome message that I resonate with,
Hmm.
and also really answers the time that we live in currently.
Hmm. Yeah, and this is one of his few films set in modern day, so it really speaks to a contemporary audience. All right. Um, shall we move on to the next film?
Yeah.
All right.
Up next is The Secret Agent, a film from Brazil, um, which don't think either of us liked very
Oh,
much,
I
unfortunately.
I liked it up until a certain point, and it drops off pretty hard. Um,
Yeah. So I'll start, I guess, with things that I liked. I would say the biggest thing that I liked was Wagner Moira's performance, if that's how you say his name. Um, he was I thought that he was very good. I think that the his nomination is very much deserved. I don't think he's the best performance of the year, but top five or whatever to get nominated. I think that's about right.
mhm.
Um, and really, to be honest, the third act kind of messes with my perception of the rest of the movie.
Yeah,
Like I feel like I was enjoying it, and then there's a point in the second act where they start just like explaining things where I'm like they sort of sit down and they
yeah.
turn on a tape recorder and they just start explaining things, and I'm like
I like the concept of it, but yeah,
I am no longer enjoying this as much because that goes on for a while, and
yeah.
then
Is
the third act is like I sort of like it, but it feels, I don't know. And then the
Yeah,
epilogue does not mesh up with the rest of the movie at all.
yeah. I like the framing device. I like what they were trying to do, but I did not vibe with the fact that there was that one scene in the movie theater where they were just talking about like, oh, I have to use the restroom, and then they just kept on cutting as to like what was happening during that, which is kind of dumb. And it was a really hard plot to follow along with. I was kind of try it. I was trying to follow along, and then there was that entire leg scene, which I'm like, cool, but I don't know
Yeah.
what the point of that was. Um,
I also feel like
And
it was a little long. Like it was, and by a
yeah,
little long, I mean pretty long. Like it wasn't quite 3 hours, but it felt like it. Like I don't know. I felt like it was maybe it was the pacing. I felt like it
yeah,
dragged. I didn't.
it there's a lot of exposition that it feels like it's over explaining and under explaining at the same time, because I don't even know what the title character did, to be honest. It's just like, all right, I want to kill this guy, I want to smash him with hammers. I'm like, all right, but why? And why does he hate you? What's going on? And he goes so far out of his depth to show why they hate each other, but I'm like, what, why? And I know it's supposed to be talking about an oppressive regime and about the atmosphere they live in, but I just didn't really find much of the plot to be. It's not incomprehensive, but just very difficult to follow through, like have a through line. And maybe that's the point, because the theme of the movie is the fact that we have so few records about these ordinary people that were trying to just live their lives in an oppressive regime. But at the same time, it was just I just didn't like it. And I know that's supposed to justify the epilogue where it does a No Country for Old Men style, where it has a climax and then jumps further in time. But man, that epilogue was way too long, and again, it kind of overshadows my entire perception of the film because
Yep.
it was too long. It was too long.
Yep.
Thematically explain it all you want. It was boring, and I'm gonna out myself here. I was on my phone. I was on my phone because it was too long.
I was in the theater, but I could. This is one of those movies where I'm like I I try so hard. I put my phone like away from me when I'm at home. Like I try so hard not to ever be on my phone, but this is one of those movies where like I would at some point get up for like a snack or something and bring my phone back with me because it's just too long and it drags so much.
Yeah.
Um it's just it's not it's like and here's the thing. Like there's a lot of parts that are pretty good. Um
Hmm.
it does not come together very well.
Hmm.
And so not the worst movie ever, but um, just not great. Certainly not great.
Yeah. There are probably some better international features that deserve this title or nomination.
There are, and
What?
some that didn't even get nominated for anything at all, which we'll get
Oh,
to.
the foreshadowing. It's called foreshadowing.
um. Okay, next on the best picture list is a little movie called Sentimental Value, soon to be Criterion Collection in the Criterion Collection. Sentimental Value. Um, uh, I loved Sentimental Value. I thought it was awesome. I thought that the subtext between the people of this family, um, it was so well done and well handled, and you get it, but there's so much that's unsaid. And it really, between the direction and then the performances from the main three members of the family, um, they sort of put it all on display for you,
Yeah.
without having to over explain it.
Hmm.
Um, and I thought it was a great movie. I really
Yeah, it feels like
enjoyed
a
it.
Bergman film, in
Hmm.
a way. Um, for me, I did not particularly have much to say about this film. It was, for me, the generic good where you watch it and it was good and you don't have much to say. I did try to articulate it somehow. There's I like the fact that there's a lot of subtext, but I just think that this film doesn't go deep enough for me to really get that emotional resonance out of it. Or my other maybe critique why it doesn't work with me is that it juggles a lot of subplots, for me
That's
to
true.
really, yeah, because there were times I was really trying with this film. I was like, there was that one emotional moment where I was telling myself to cry, cry, damn it, cry, they're crying right now, and it just didn't hit with me. It didn't hit. I could tell it was well made. It just it was juggling that one flashback sequence with the Nazis happening, not Nazis taking generational trauma that was happening, and then the daughter under the sister the daughter's sister. Same thing, trying to undercover it, and then the guy making his film, and then the actress struggling, and then the other actress struggling. It was a lot, and I know
Yeah.
that's supposed to. I know that some plots get some priority, but it was a lot for
I
me to penetrate through.
the through line that I connected with is sort of I guess a general theme, which is the things that we do for and against each other, and how
Mhm.
little they seem to the person doing, and how much they can mean to the
Mhm.
person it's being done to or for, right? Like,
Yeah.
obviously the main part of it is that the dad wants his daughter to be in what might be his last movie, because it's basically like about himself
Himself.
and
Yeah.
her, right? um and that's, I don't think that that's a terribly small thing or anything, but it certainly is, uh all of the things surrounding that, right? All of the things that we hear about that led up to their fractured relationship, all of the things that we hear about the dad's life. He grew up in this house, and his interactions with his family, and when he would leave and then come back, and um you know we're all sort of like living our own lives, and the way that we impact one another, again, especially in families, seems small, to us, because we're sort of living our own lives, and then when it really comes down to it, um people are deeply and profoundly impacted by the things that you choose to do for and against them,
Mhm.
especially within families. Right, the all the stuff with the dad that I just mentioned, but then also the sisters, right? They talk about, there's the really heartfelt scene where,
Mm.
the one sister is like, "How did you end up so normal?" And she's like, "Well, I had you, right? I
Mm.
had you to help me." Um, and there's so many little things like that throughout the movie. Um, that I just think it's a really great film.
Mhm. Yeah, and I don't know. Just because a movie doesn't work for me doesn't mean it can't work for you. So yeah, I will just nod along and just say I agree. I will say, there's one joke for the letterbox heads out there that when he was showing that kid
Oh,
all
yeah,
the
yeah.
movies, yeah, it
When
was
he
so
well, he
good.
was giving them to him for his
Yeah.
birthday. That was so funny. Oh my
Oh god.
god. The theater laughed. I was like, "Dang, this is getting laughs in the theater. That's crazy."
They know cinema.
They do know cinema. They do know cinema. Giving it, you know, I'm totally appropriate, of course, to give a child the piano teacher. Totally appropriate. Um, uh, yeah. Um,
Sinners.
Sinners. What is there to be said about Sinners? Probably
Too
most
many awards.
people's. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so we can get to that. I was gonna say probably most people, most like normal people who don't go out and see all the movies. Probably a lot of people's movie of the year, just because it's like
Hmm.
one of the only ones that they saw that was at like kind of this
Yeah.
level. Um, but yeah, too many awards. I think that there is, I see people who are hating on it, saying it's like just a popcorn movie. I think it is a fun popcorn movie, and that's okay.
Hmm.
But I think that that's underselling it a little bit too. There is definitely a lot more depth to it than that gives it credit
Hmm.
for. But just because it's the most popular original film of the year that is good and has some depth to it does not mean that it deserves to be the most nominated movie ever, I think.
Hmm. You have to strike that
um,
balance somehow.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I've seen this movie
Um,
twice. Um, I've The first time I was fully on board with all the critics calling this a masterpiece. I really dug one. I like it had so much going for me. I really love soul music. I love horror movies, especially some film that's kind of contained in one place. I really liked all the characters and everything. That one take sequence in the middle was fire. I really liked it. But coming home, I was recommending it to people, especially to one person that did not like it that much. But I was still singing its praises. I was saying it's probably one of the best movies of the year. Then I watched it again, and now I wasn't loving it, especially that first half, which everybody was saying, yeah, I would love to watch a movie about that first half. And I'm like, I don't know, that first half was kind of dragging. And then now the second half, which I can kind of see the flaws, not the flaws apparent, but it's kind of compressed when you're doing a genre split in the middle of the movie. It kind of just feels like it's going through the beats really quickly in that second half, and it doesn't land all the way for me. Still good. I'm not gonna hate the movie. I'm not gonna go on my way to watch it again, except maybe if it's Halloween or something. But I just didn't love it as much as everybody else. And but hey, it's
Yeah.
popular. It's good. It's really good. Not my favorite.
That was kind of where I was at even walking out of the theater, that this was a very good movie.
Hmm.
And I think if this was the movie that you saw this year that you loved, I think more power to you. I think that, maybe it connected with you on a level that it did not with me. I also understand why, black people love the movie so much. I think it speaks
Hmm.
to um a lot of culturally important things for and historically important things for
Hmm.
black people and important things for this country. But I just, that doesn't that doesn't mean it's the best movie of the year.
Hmm.
I just it's I don't want to be super super negative because I think that
Hmm.
this year did end up being a pretty, like, a really good year for
Yeah.
movies, and this is one of those really really good movies that came out this year that added to how good of a year it was. But I just don't I don't I don't think it was that good.
Yeah.
As good as some people do.
Yeah. It wouldn't probably rank among my personal favorites. I know it's on the Letterboxd top 500 now. I'm like, all right, put it in the distant 500, I guess.
It's actually
But
not in the 500.
what? Okay, all
No,
right,
it's at a
not
4.1,
anymore.
which high 4.1 is the threshold, I believe.
Okay, well, I guess I stand corrected. Um, I don't know, but the score to this movie pretty fire. Oh, and the costumes and design, the special effects for this film also pretty good. Also pretty good. Um, I don't know. I want more horror movies like this though. To be, I really hate the term elevated horror because I feel like that's a catch-all term for just horror movies that try a little bit more. But I would love more bigger budget films in the horror genre like this. Maybe not all exactly like Sinners or in the quality of it, but just like um that actually try a little bit more
Yeah.
than Jump Scare
Big
Factory Central.
big swings with meaning in horror, I think, is
Mhm.
awesome. You know, more of this. I know maybe you're not a huge fan of it, but I also every once in a while will watch some schlock. I think that's good too.
Mhm.
But this is awesome. And I hope that off the back of this we get more.
Yeah. Um, finally, finally, unless Pierce has something else to say, we've
Nope.
got the movie Train Dreams, which it's a very hard film to describe. It's a very hard film to recommend, but I really liked it. Malik Slop, give me more of that.
Okay. Yeah, a movie heavily, heavily inspired by Terrence Malick. Holy, just please, like, I don't know. You could have told me that Terrence Malick made this movie, and I would have been like, "Yep, looks right to me for sure."
Yeah.
Totally, totally. Um, I think that Train Dreams is awesome. I think it's a great movie.
Yeah.
Um, Having heard that it was, Terrence Malick, I was worried that I was not gonna be a huge fan.
Yeah.
I've only seen Tree of Life, sorry, Train of Dreams, Tree of Life from Terrence Malick so far, and I was not a huge fan. I know that's his most popular movie, but it's, you know, we've talked about it on the podcast before. I was just like,
Yeah.
yeah, this is technically awesome, but I'm not that into it.
Mm-hmm.
But Train Dreams, I don't know. It hit me right. It hit me right in the things that I think about all the time. You know
Mm-hmm.
how time moves through us. Why are we here? Like, life just sort of happens to us if you don't act. And what happens? Uh,
When we shuffle this mortal coil.
yeah. When your life falls apart,
Oh.
what happens to the people we leave behind?
Mm.
What's left for us to pick up? Like it's just so
Profound.
um profound. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um.
It's hard to describe it that way without also sounding pretentious, but at the same time, it takes a big philosophical swing towards the fences, and um, it's it's I also like how meditative it was and all that. It made me feel good at the end.
Yeah. Yep. It really gives you time to sit with it. I will say, some devastating movies this year. I feel bad for anyone who watched, Hamnet, Sentimental Value, and Train Dreams back to back to back.
As a
But
triple feature.
yeah, as a triple feature. Um, but yeah, I pretty very good. I definitely enjoyed Train Dreams. Joel Edgerton possibly could have been somebody else who got an acting nomination. He was actually very very good as Robert Grenier.
Yeah. Has he been in anything else? I'm looking at his letterbox page. I don't see anything of note. Is that from Star Wars? The Green Knight, maybe?
The
No, this
Great
movie.
Gatsby, The Great Gatsby.
Oh, and I have not seen this version. I just know that it was very. I've seen clips of it in English class in high school, and I just know some of the choices there are very, very interesting.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. No. But yeah, he's not been in a whole lot like this, and he took a swing with this one, and you got to hand it to him. You got to give it to him.
Yeah, he says so much with his face without saying much at all.
Hmm.
That's acting. That's acting.
That's acting. That is acting.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else to say about Train Dreams besides how good it was, how it was
Yeah.
awesome?
Yeah. It's not gonna hit for everybody because some people would describe this as cinematic melatonin,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
for that right person, it's gonna hit hard.
It definitely has a slow pace. But um I think some of the best movies, they have a slow pace and yet they're so
Yeah.
thoughtful and well done that they sort of
Hmm.
capture your attention anyways.
Yeah. I will say if I didn't watch this movie with subtitles, I would be saying something entirely different about this film. But fortunately, I did. All right. Shall we rank them? I don't know if you have the ranking on hand.
I do have my ranking on hand.
Are we going from bottom to top?
No, I think that'll get well, are you saying back and forth? I feel like we should do it one at a time because I feel like it'll get kind of confusing going
Oh,
back and forth.
okay. All right. Well, okay. I guess we're gonna give you the number 10 slot because whatever it is, I don't have a number 10.
No, what? Wait, hold on. No, wait. I have my
Oh, it's
hold
our.
on. No, no,
Oh,
no. We did not talk about this before. If that wasn't clear. Um, no, I was saying that I just give my ranking and then you'd give yours.
oh. Okay.
I feel like it would be confusing to go back and forth.
Okay.
So, uh, I have um you know what? Now that I'm looking at these, because I made this immediately after I finished watching Train Dreams, I might sitting on it. I might have swapped some stuff around. So I guess cut me some slack. If any of this doesn't seem right to you, I might have to swap some of
Hmm.
this around. Um, I'm gonna start at 10. With F1. I enjoyed F1. I had a good time with it. Um, Secret Agent is next at 9. Secret Agent, at least it swings for the fences. F1 is just like I think all of these are movies that
Competently made.
have they're competently made, F1 is competent, but it's generic. And The Secret Agent is competent, but falls apart towards the end, even though it has some great ideas. I gave the edge to The Secret Agent personally. Next, I put Frankenstein. Similar story to The Secret Agent. Bugonia I put next, which I had a good time with, but don't feel like it's as special as the movies that are higher than it. Sinners is what I have next. Sinners is awesome, but it just barely misses my top 5 personally. Then I have Train Dreams. Slow but great movie, very thoughtful. I loved it. Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another. And then originally I had Sentimental Value at 2 and Hamnet at 1. I might swap that. I might have to rewatch them and swap it.
Okay.
Maybe I'll just swap it and then rewatch later. I don't know, but I think I prefer Sentimental Value now after
Okay.
having sat on both of these movies for a while.
Okay. All right. Your ranking is a little bit different from mine, as you can kind of tell as the debates we've had.
Mm-hmm.
Number 10, it does not exist. But number 9 goes to Bugonia. Number 8.
Crazy.
I know,
Sorry,
I
go
know.
on,
Come
go
at
on.
me.
Yeah, go
Okay.
on.
All right. But number 8, I think you'll vibe with The Secret Agent. Same reasons as you had. And number 7, Frankenstein. Same reasons as you had. First half great, second half not so great. Number 6, Sentimental Value. I say tugging my
Wow.
collar. I
Oh
know.
my God.
God, yeah. I hate feeling emotions apparently because number 5,
Let's beat this guy up. Number 5 is what?
Hamnet.
Oh my
I
God.
I hate emotions. I hate feeling emotions apparently. Number 4, though, Sinners. It's really interchangeable with number 3 for me. But all right, because number 3 is One Battle After Another. Number 2 is Train Dreams. And number 1, as you can tell by my enthusiastic review, it's Marty Supreme.
Bro, he's a film bro. Get him.
I
Get him. He's
yeah,
a
no,
film bro. Get him.
the more I look at this list, the more I am not escaping those allegations.
He's got
Um,
the emotional good films towards the bottom. He's got the film bro film at number
yeah,
1. Get him.
and the
Get him.
pretentious, the pretentious movie at number 2.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm just a different flavor. You can make fun
Yeah,
of
different taste.
anyone's preferences
Yeah,
in that way.
yeah. I just feel like the top 3 have to be locked with somewhere One Battle After Another or Marty Supreme up in there. I feel like that has to be the guarantee. Oh
For
wait, you didn't have
you?
them.
No, I didn't
Yeah.
have it like
Okay.
that at all.
Yeah. Whoops.
Marty Supreme was 4 for me.
Okay, just barely.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, either way, I think overall we got like halfway through the year and we got through the summer. We had Superman and we had Sinners, and I was kind of like, man, is this it? Like, is this year gonna like not be that good for movies? And then I had to wait for award season. I had to cool my jets. I had to cool
Yeah.
my jets and wait for award season. And this year I think ended up being pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, let's dive into some of the other categories.
All right. Are we just gonna go alphabetical order from the website, or from the top to bottom on the website, which is in alphabetical order?
Yeah, well, let's do the leads first because that they
Okay.
don't have that in that order. We'll do both leads and then we'll do both supporting. Actor in a leading role. I'm not gonna name them all off, although maybe we'll talk about all of them individually. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. But if we name every nominee on every list, it'll take forever, like it did
Yeah.
the one year we did that, and so we're not gonna make that mistake again. We're just gonna talk about
Also,
the stuff
we're not
we
gonna
want to
spoil
talk about.
any other of the films that we're gonna mention.
Yeah, we're trying not to.
Okay.
We're not going to try.
We're not going to. All right.
All right. So actor in a leading role. Personally, my favorite performance, I think, was actually Timothée Chalamet.
Wow.
I Leonardo DiCaprio I thought was really good. I was not sold on him being like far and away, amazing, incredible leaving the theater like everyone said. I thought he was very, very good. Michael B. Jordan again, very, very good. But not my favorite. Um, Timothy I think it's those three for me, probably at the top. I think Timothy Chalamet to me, there's so much internality to Marty Mauser. You can see
Hmm.
the wheels turning in his head when
Yeah.
he's about to make a bad decision,
With
and that adds to the tension. It
yeah.
adds to the film. It adds to
Yeah.
everything. And I think that it is you can see when he sort of shuts himself off
Hmm.
to the people around him. You can see
Hmm.
the plan being concocted in his head. I think Timothy Chalamet did an incredible job, and
Hmm.
I think he deserves to win personally.
Yeah. They were not afraid to really get in his face with that. Um, for me, this is going to surprise you. I can guarantee it. I'm going to pick Ethan Hawke from Blue Moon.
What?
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 Yeah.
What? Oh my God! Are you being serious right now?
I know. I am being serious because the fact is that you can. It's very similar to Timothy.
Can we contextualize my reaction for a second? This guy he hated that movie. He like borderline hated that movie. It felt like.
Yeah. I've been thinking about it a lot more and how that movie made me feel at the end, and then maybe recontextualize and maybe look back on that film. And I'm like, wow, that was actually a performance because that entire movie is built around Ethan Hawke's performance. All right, I don't like the height washing stuff they did. That was really weird because they didn't get the proportions right on his arm, so he just looked very weird doing that. But you can read the lines on his face and his emotions in very very subtle things and subtle gestures. Um, you hate him at I hated him at first, but then I
Mhm.
started to slowly pity him, and then you can kind of see that the world around him, like you can kind of see that he's lying to himself without explicitly saying it. You can see that all the other people want to tolerate him because he's nice and he has this genius around him, but they also just don't want to do it. And you could kind of read into Ethan Hawke's eyes that he kind of knows it, but he still wants to press on, even though he is a pretentious jerk. But I sided with him. I pitied him.
That's
Amazing
wow.
performance.
Well, I'll tell you what. I would not be mad. If that were the case. I don't think I'll be mad about really any of these people winning.
Yeah.
Best actor this year is stacked.
Hmm.
I think that Timothy Chalamet to me was the best, and so I think he should win. But I won't be mad about any of these. I imagine this one will be close, and it might go to
Hmm.
someone surprising. So
Okay. It could be my pick.
yeah, it really could be. Ethan Hawke gave a great performance, and legacy award and all that stuff. So, I
Hmm.
I, I wouldn't be mad about any of these people winning. Um,
Hmm.
I feel like we should at least mention Jesse Plemons as a snub.
Uh-huh.
To me, it's the same thing as the Greta, very similar to the Greta Gerwig. Um, what's her name? The
Uh,
actress who played
Margot Robbie?
Barbie, Margot Robbie. That snub from a few years ago. It's like, well, the who are you going to take out, right? Like it's such a
Yeah.
stacked award. Who are you going to say doesn't deserve it so that
Hmm.
you can put this new person in? And I would struggle to say that. I
Hmm.
really would. So, overall, great year for lead
Hmm.
actors.
Okay. Supporting role. Supporting role.
I
Actor in
w-
supporting role.
okay. Well, yeah, we can do it that way.
Uh,
That's fine.
okay.
I said we
Uh
do the leads first, but that's okay.
okay.
We'll do
Oh,
it
that's
this way.
fine. Yeah.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
All right. Supporting
Um,
role. I don't think it should go to Del Toro.
you
Because
don't really.
he's in the movie for like 10 minutes. I mean, it's a really good 10 minutes. But it's kind of like that scene from Network where she was only in it for 6 minutes and she got the win. I don't know if it deserves that because he's an important part of the movie, but it's compared to the rest of the cast. I don't know about that.
Um, yeah, I'll say it's not like a Hannibal Lecter level
Hmm.
supporting performance. So maybe I think that I mean he's not my pick either, so I'm not
Hmm.
gonna defend it like he is, but
Hmm.
I think it's still a very very great performance.
Hmm.
Um, but it's in a crowd of great performances as well.
Yeah.
So
My pick, though, my actual pick. I don't know why it just came off of Del Toro like that. I'm like, all right. First,
yeah,
I gotta make that
it
note.
should not be this guy.
But who I do think it should be is Delroy Lindo, mostly because this is part legacy award because he deserves the win. He's been in a lot of Spike Lee's films, but I don't know. He was a very charming part of the film where he kind of brought a lot of the humor to it, um but there's also a lot of heart to it as well.
Yeah.
I think it's overdue.
I don't I don't hate that. Wouldn't be my pick. My pick
Hmm.
is Stellan Skarsgård, and that's going to be a common theme, I think, at least for two
Okay.
of these that I'm going to give it to sentimental value actors. They are, they without performances as good as these, that movie would not work at all. I don't think.
Hmm.
There's so much unsaid in that movie that has to
Hmm.
be put forward. And it could also be you could also give it part legacy too. Lot of legacy actors up for awards who
Hmm.
have never won this year. Um,
Hmm.
so there's that. But I thought that he was very very good in that movie as well. But similarly, I wouldn't be mad about any of these people except Jacob Elordi. I would be mad about that.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay.
but the rest of them, I would not be upset about. Um,
Okay. All right. Next up, um, actress in a leading role.
right,
Uh,
right. Um, I will say once again, very strong year. I feel like for performances.
mhm.
The only one I would be upset about is Kate Hudson.
I don't think she's
Um,
gonna win.
I don't think she's gonna win either. But there are people who are Rose Byrne fans, and she's great in that movie. I know you haven't seen it yet. She is very good. She's by far the best part of it. But Jessie Buckley, like, puts Hamnet on her back and
Hmm.
carries it.
Yeah.
Like it's
Um,
she is those huge emotional scenes. That's
She is the movie. She is
right.
Hamnet.
She's not, but yeah. I said it would be a common thread of me giving it to sentimental value actors. This is one of the cases where I'm going to break from that and say
Hmm.
Jessie Buckley is just kind of undeniable. Um,
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm also saying it's Jessie Buckley because hey, she made me cry, and we don't always want to give to the loudest performances where it's always just a lot of yelling and a lot of crying. But in
we
this case, it's
fulfilled
deserved.
we fulfilled our subtle ratio in supporting actor, so we're fine.
Yeah. Okay. All right, we take it.
We picked two subtle performances in supporting it. We're good.
Okay.
I mean, not to. I don't. Well, whatever. You get it.
Yeah.
Okay, actors in a supporting role. Um, I'm sticking to what I said with supporting actor. I'm gonna butcher her name. Inga Ibsdottir. I think that she um probably gives the best performance of the movie. And she's of one of four nominated actors. I think that if Sentimental Value walks away with no acting awards, I think that'll be kind of a travesty, personally. Um, but we'll see. It does. I don't think it's going to win any, but I would give it to Inga for this one.
Hmm. I'd give it to she seems like the favorite to win, but Amy Madigan, mostly because it's a horror pick and it's when she's able to be funny and scary, but mostly scary, but in a cheeky sort of way. And we don't get too many horror picks in this category, so giving it to her. I don't really have much to say aside from that.
Nope.
Weapons.
Me
Good movie.
neither. Me neither.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also a weapons only nomination, so there's that.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to mention cinematography? We didn't talk about this before, but we can. It's a great year for cinematography too.
Yeah. I don't even know what's gonna win, or
I would
mean,
imagine it's going to be Sinners or One Battle After Another. I feel like those are
yeah.
probably the two front runners for lots of awards, but um, I could give it to any one of these. I would probably choose to give it to One Battle After Another.
Hmm.
But man, Train Dreams, Sinners, Marty Supreme, all great, all amazing.
Yeah. My gut instinct upon scrolling down this category was going to be Train Dreams.
Yeah,
But my heart is going with One Battle After Another, because it is the
my
way they shot that
actual
desert.
yeah my prediction is probably Sinners. I think Sinners might win this one, but
Okay.
I think it should be One Battle After Another. Either way, it's close. Directing, we're just mentioning to say that it's gonna be Paul Thomas Anderson.
Agreed.
He's just
Yeah.
again kind of undeniable at this point. He he should have won years ago. Well, he went up against
There Will Be
another
Blood.
all-time great.
Yeah.
Yeah. There Will Be Blood also went up against No Country for Old Men, so tough, but there's
Yeah.
No Country for Old Men this year. No, a lot of these movies are awesome, but they're not quite on that level. So, he's kind of undeniable. It's a legacy, great movie, all those things.
Hmm.
Um, Going down the list, I think you wanted to talk about film editing. I know you like the idea of a good film edit, so I'll let
Yeah.
you take the lead on this one.
If it makes a long movie feel short, that's good editing to me. That goes to Marty Supreme for me, because the way that entire film was kinetic, it slows down and remains really fast paced and exciting all the way through. I'm gonna give it to Marty Supreme. I have not seen F1. Maybe it's a very well edited movie, but I'm giving it to Marty Supreme.
I could see that. I could see that. I feel like simply because of the way the Academy works, it'll probably go to One Battle After Another or Sinners,
Mhm.
but I could see Marty Supreme probably
Yeah.
deserving it. I also know that the film editing award usually does not go to the movie with the best edit. It usually goes to like
Yeah.
great movie that is going to win a lot.
Yeah.
That people are
That's
like,
true.
yeah, it's probably got a good edit. Is what it
Hmm.
seems like the voters' thought process is for this one.
Hmm.
But Marty Supreme probably, I could see that for this.
Okay.
It's my time to shine.
Yes, it is.
International feature film. So I've seen all these. I try my hardest to see all of the international features every year. Now, recently, the Academy voters have been nominating at least one international feature to both Best Picture and this category, and that makes it
Mhm.
really obvious which one is going to win. In this case, we have two. I think it's still obvious which one is going to win because I think Sentimental Value is leagues ahead of The Secret
Mhm.
Agent, which both are nominated for Best Picture as well. So I think it should be clear what's going to win, but obviously, Academy voters saw something in The Secret Agent that I didn't. So,
Mm.
sorry, Brazil, I didn't like your movie that much. Um,
Okay.
but I'll mention the other ones real quick. It was just an accident. Obviously, won the Palme d'Or. I was kind of shocked to see The Secret Agent get the Best Picture nod and not. It was just an accident. It was just an accident was awesome. Amazing first act that pulls you in. Amazing final act, an amazing final 5 minutes or so, 15 minutes or so. Just really, really the middle of the movie, it has some great moments. It meanders a little bit, a touch, but it's short enough that it's not really like that big of a deal. Um, and yeah, it was just an accident. I think even though it probably won't win, best international feature next Sunday, I think it's a great addition to the Palme d'Or winner canon, if or whatever you would want to call that. Um, the voice of Hind Rajab, under talked about really. I had not heard about this movie until I had a chance to see it. It's basically a retelling of a situation where a little girl is calling in stuck in Gaza, calls a helpline to an emergency line to get her evacuated, um, as she's sort of stuck in the middle of an Israeli war zone. They shot into her car that her family was in. Um, and it's horrifying and it is depressing and it feels hopeless. Um, and it's again it's a retelling. This is based off of a real phone call and a real story. So it is. I was drained at the end of the movie.
Wow.
Awesome, awesome, awesome movie. Again, another one more deserving of a Best Picture nod than The Secret Agent. Surat, little overhyped. Little overhyped. Awesome. Some really great moments, but overall, it sort of. I keep using the word meander, but it does. It feels like we're looking for a point, and then we get there, and there's some shock value. There's a moment that's really, really shocking, and it's that is a really great moment that's well acted. I don't want to spoil it, because it is such a shocking moment. I feel like I would take away from the shock, and I don't want to do that because it's that good of a moment. But I don't know. I get the point that you can't sort of escape. There's no escaping in art, right? You to escape actually sometimes makes it worse for you to not deal with what's actually going on in the world. But I didn't love the actual experience of watching the movie, unfortunately. But yeah, and then last but not least, not nominated, but snubbed. Holy
Oh,
snubbed.
I saw this at the theaters.
Um, no Other Choice. What an amazing movie. Incredible. Uh,
Very well made at the very least.
yes. In my opinion, like I'm actually not the biggest Park Chan-wook fan. I like Old Boy a lot, but it's not one of my favorites. I was not a huge fan of Decision to Leave, and those are the ones that I've seen. No Other Choice, I really enjoyed my time with. I thought it was great. Um, Again, another movie that I think is more deserving of a Best Picture nod and an international feature nod than some of the ones on
The
this
Rock.
on this list. Surat is Surat too, but
Yeah. You don't want to name any names.
yeah,
Never name them
Surat, the
for you.
secret agent. Definitely don't want to name any names for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I also at least for best editing, give it that. Because that movie, those dissolve shots, woo,
Yeah.
very good stuff. Very good stuff.
Um, I think we could talk about score real quick. I feel like that might be the last one.
Yeah.
Just what
Um,
you hit me with it. What was your favorite score?
okay. Probably Sinners, gonna be
Probably
honest.
Sinners.
Yeah, because I'm mostly I don't know if this is a legit way of kind of measuring it, but I do remember the ending credit song, ending credits score more than all the other nominees. I because I know the best score is kind of invisible, like you're not really supposed to know it unless it's like really loud. It's supposed to suit the film. But Sinners, I do remember having that really good twang, that really good score while watching it. So I'm gonna give it to Sinners.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's far and away Sinners or One Battle After Another. I think Marty Supreme is should also have gotten nominated. I think Marty Supreme score is awesome as well. Did we talk about this during the episode or before? I can't remember.
I
Might have been before we hit record that I mentioned that I think Sinners, One Battle After Another, and Marty Supreme are all three incredible, incredible scores. Like
Mhm.
top notch. I loved all three of them. My personal favorite, one battle after another, but I think Sinners is going to win, and I'm not going to be upset about it.
Yeah.
I would love to see Johnny Greenwood win best original score, but I think he'll have another chance. He's done some really good work for other movies too, so I'm sure he'll make more.
Mm-hmm. Very, very well said. Um, yeah, I don't have any more things to say about any of the other nominees except from K-pop Demon Hunters. Good film.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's very deep. Yeah, we kind of skipped over the anime category because it was not a very good year, and I didn't see any of them except for K-pop Demon Hunters, which I really liked.
Yep. Really not a very good year. I think this. I'm not gonna say that. I was gonna say I think this year is supposed to be better, but I was thinking of the new Spider-Verse movie, and that's not till 2027, I believe. So, if I'm not mistaken, so I actually have no idea if this year is supposed to be better or not. I've heard Hoppers
Wow.
is really good. I haven't seen it yet, but I've
I
heard
saw
I've
it.
heard good things. Did you like it?
It was okay.
All right. Well, there goes that dream.
2 years in a row. Just like
okay. I saw a clip that I thought was funny, but alas. All right. Well, yeah, I don't have
oh
anything else to say either. Do you have another
yeah.
category or something?
Oh yeah, if you scroll down Best Picture, there's also production design and sound and visual effects, which is going to Avatar:
Well,
Fire and Ash.
yeah, but none. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get that excited about those, to be
Neither
honest.
do I.
All right. Okay. So I mean, sound. Sound should go to Surratt. As much as I didn't care for that movie, the sound was awesome. But whatever.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's a movie about like techno music and stuff. The sound was awesome.
Okay.
But
Production design. What do you think should go for that?
probably. Ooh, that's actually a good question. Probably Marty Supreme or Frankenstein.
Yeah, I'm
I
giving it to
imagine.
Frankenstein.
I imagine it'll go to Frankenstein. That first half has
Yeah,
so many good sets.
yeah, yeah. It's too bad there's no second half after that movie. Just the-
So it's only the first half, and then your TV breaks immediately.
yeah.
So all right, well,
But
I think that's a good place to cut it. I'm looking very much forward to the Oscars this Sunday. I always enjoy watching it. Conan
yeah,
O'Brien,
good host,
we
great
have a
host.
good host actually.
Yeah,
So yeah. You can find us soon talking about The Dispossessed, which was supposed to happen at the end of February, but we're working on it.
we're really bad. Yeah,
We're not gonna disappear again. We're working on it. It's coming.
yeah,
You can find us soon talking about The Dispossessed, and then later this month, you can find us talking about 100 Years of Solitude, which we'll talk about in that
yeah.
episode. Why that is so fitting, so much of a fitting follow up.
And you'll be
And I think,
watching a movie eventually this month, whatever that may
yeah,
be.
maybe. But anyway, if you liked, enjoyed, please give us a like, a rating, subscribe, follow us, whatever it is
Yeah,
on the
and
platform. We
share
truly do
and
appreciate it.
yep, and share this video with other people because social media sucks. But spread the word. Spread the word.
Spread the word. Spread the good word.
Yeah, and if you made it this far, let me go tell you something. Goodbye, Prometheus.